And good evening once again. Thank you for listening to another episode of Late Night Parents. I'm Ted Hicks, and across from me is Rich Valdez.
Teddy Ted.
What's up, man?
Good opening. What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm all right, all right. Another week has gone by.
That's true.
And we are here.
Yes, we are. And best ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com, where you can find everything. It's your one-stop shop.
Everything?
Right? And I do mean everything. Well, I mean, not winning lotto numbers or anything like that.
Okay.
You know, the stuff that really matters. But I believe in our featured guest for tonight, Ms. Kristen Barnett, author of The Bug Who Thought He Lost His Buzz.
So this is a crime mystery.
Not quite. Not quite. But she's going to be in the queue in the next 30 seconds.
Oh,
and
nice.
Before we even get started, wanted to mention, I guess, very somber and sad. We lost our 41st United States president.
Yep. Bush Sr. Rest in peace.
Yes.
You know, it's always interesting how when any president, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, when the time comes, they get old, they pass. No matter how vilified they were while they were in office, we always tend to remember the good things about them.
That's true.
Which is a good thing. This is not a complaint.
No.
You know, it's just kind of ironic, though.
You know, it's just someone that, you know, was a public servant. You know, so much can be said about the Bush dynasty.
Yep.
Two things I do want to mention.
No new taxes?
No. We won't go there. But National Day of Mourning on the 5th.
Yes.
And two facts that I guess aren't really as publicized because of the climate.
Okay.
Two foundations that were financially supported by the Bush family.
Oh, what foundations are you referring to?
United Negro College Fund.
Nice.
And Planned Parenthood.
That's a kind of a surprising one.
Right. That's
no
the thing
kidding.
about that. That's the thing about that. So we'll touch back on the loss of our 41st president. But in the queue, we have none other than Kristen Barnett, author of The Bug Who Thought He Lost His Buzz. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Kristen. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, I know we've, I guess, our marketing team, which is myself and Rich, and you know, has been going back and forth with your marketing team. So thank you for being so flexible. We'll jump right into it. Tell us about your, Kristen, your personal story and why you developed the What's Bugging You series for children.
Yeah, so I always say, you know, the best books, of course, are those that have experience. So there's really two scenarios that led to the What's Bugging You series. The first one being that I had volunteered for 10 plus years at our local children's hospital, specifically within oncology, and I would have parents asking me, you know, do I tell my 2, 3, 4-year-old child, unfortunately, that they have cancer, and if yes, how? At the same point in time, I was my husband and I were adopting our beautiful daughter, Riley. And, of course, family members, friends, colleagues kept saying, are you going to tell her she's adopted? And if yes, how? And so it was really those two scenarios that led me to going to bookstores, libraries, and what I found was there were plenty of books for, I would say, early readers to teenagers, but not a lot of books within that 2 to 7-year-old range that talks through real-life scenarios for little people. So that's really what was the birth of the What's Bugging You series.
So that interesting background there. I can only imagine, especially working with children with those kind of health issues, there can be some sombering situations. So, keeping their spirits up has got to be a challenge for any caregiver in that situation. So tell us a little bit more about the book then. I mean, so what's the basic theme of the book?
Yeah, so this first book, as you said before, called The Bug Who Thought He Lost His Buzz, What Happens When the Big Bad Bee Stings, follows a bee whose name is Bugsy, and at the beginning of the story, he feels like he's lost his buzz, and so he goes to the hospital and finds out that he has the big bad beast, which unfortunately can be symbolized as cancer or some other type of chronic illness. And through the book, we follow Bugsy's journey of asking, some of those big questions that both children and parents would ask, such as, why me? Why do doctors and nurses keep coming in my room? Why do I have to take medicine? Things like that. And so we really follow his journey through being both diagnosed with a chronic illness and then kind of, the story afterwards.
Okay. So then, do you think that, since it sounds like the theme of the book is for the bee himself and what he's going through, but do you think this could also be helpful for a child who learns that maybe an adult in their family has a serious or terminal illness?
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, I've actually had that scenario. So one of my readers contacted me and said, unfortunately, his best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, but had 2 little ones at home, and did not even know how to approach the topic. And so basically what they did was they bought the book, and she, instead of Bugsy being a little bee, she said, I am Bugsy. And she said that was the best gift that she was given, because she did not even know how to start to approach the topic, which is really what I think the goal of these books is they're really that first piece of conversation. And then we have like other tools and things on our website also, but these books definitely can be used both for children and for adults and parents and so forth.
So, Kristen, why did you decide to use bugs as your main characters? And can we expect new bugs to appear in each of the books?
Yeah, so unfortunately I had a great, audience, right, at the hospital. And so I tested out different types of characters. And what I found is that both boys and girls like bugs. Now, they may like different types of bugs, but that really led us to choosing bugs for the books. And then each of the books will have Watts, who's the firefly. So we have a fun Find Watts activity throughout all of our books. But then all the books themselves will focus on a different type of bug. So this book, for instance, of course, was the bee, Bugsy. And then the next book that we're looking to do is going to be around bullying, and that book is going to have butterflies and a moth. So we are focusing on different types of bugs in each of our books.
Bugs everywhere. That's cool, though. So, talking to Ted, he mentioned that you have a special holiday program going on regarding sales of the books. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I'm really, really excited because, as you know, these books, as you kind of mentioned, are on some difficult topics. But one of the things I've been doing, even from day one, is partnering with organizations such as Ronald McDonald House Friends Place, which is a local organization like a Ronald McDonald House that works with children with cancer. But through this holiday season, we are partnering with a place called Camp Wapi Yapi. I know an interesting name, but it means health and healing in Native American, and the camp is a special camp because it does deal with both. So the kids that attend are both children that have cancer or siblings, which I really love that because a lot of times, as you can imagine, the siblings kind of feel left out as their, sibling is unfortunately having to battle cancer. And so it's a fun experience for both. And so what we're doing this holiday season is we're first of all doing donate a book. And so people can actually buy a book, and the books will go directly to children that are dealing with cancer, so both at the camp and then other organizations. And the nice part is while people are donating the book, they can actually write a personal message to that child or that family, so I think that's pretty cool. And then beyond that, we are providing a percentage of proceeds to our big goal is to try to send a child to camp this summer. And so that percentage will go directly to camp fees. So we're really excited about that.
Very nice.
Kristen, can you tell us about the next book in the series, and also how do you decide which topic comes next?
Yeah. So our next book is on bullying, and I love that question because, of course, we pick books that are near to dear to our hearts. So, as I mentioned, the volunteering really is what led to writing this first book. But I mean, we also have other books coming on like moving, because the illustrator of this book, so she comes from a military family. So her and her husband actually right now live in Germany. And she said, of course, that's a big topic. And then the adoption, losing a pet. Unfortunately, our family just lost a pet a couple of weeks ago. So we're still in that traumatic stage, but I know how important that is to families. So we do pick topics that are near and dear, but then we also, of course, want to keep up with, what's going out there in society, so some of the main trends. And like, as I said, the next book on bullying, suicide rates for children, unfortunately, is going up. And, you see articles all the time, or see, newscasts around children and bullying and so forth. So we thought that topic was pertinent. But the third way, and I really, want to tell listeners, is that, if they are going through a scenario with their families, I mean, we, of course, listen to our readers. And so some of the topics that we are looking at past the bullying are topics that readers actually wrote to us and said, can you write a book about this? So we do look at those three areas of what's near and dear, what's, happening, trending, and then listening to our readers.
Lots of information that you're making available. And I guess along those lines, and on the website, whatsbuggingyou.com, that's WATTS, buggingyou.com, you have additional information. What can our listeners find when they visit the website?
Yeah. So, I mean, as I said, these books are really a first tool, but I mean, my heart and my passion is into these books, and so I want to continue to help families. And so things that you will find on our website, which I've heard great feedback from, so I'm glad it's working, is that we do have like activities that families can do, additional discussion topics and so forth. And like I mentioned before, the topic of siblings. So I do have things on my website, of how to help siblings, right, going through a scenario where brother or sister are dealing with a cancer. And so I think that's really great reference. We also have things such as Pay It Forward, to children. And so, I mean, my daughter and I, we do a lot of volunteering, but I'm also, having listeners send me their stories of, how they're out there with their kids volunteering in the community, because I think that's really important. And then, of course, we have blogs and, other information. The big goal of our website, which, again, as you mentioned, was www.watts, which is WATTS, like a firefly, buggingyou.com, is to really build a support community. Because I think that's important as families are going through difficult scenarios.
Kristen, tell us ways that where our listeners or someone wants to purchase a copy of the bug who thought he lost his buzz, and also tell us best ways to get in contact with you and find more about you on social media.
Yeah, I love that. So the two main ways that people can purchase the book right now is both on Amazon and then again our website, which is the www.whatsbuggingyou.com. The big thing I do want to mention, though, however, is the donate a book piece of that. You would need to go through the website to make sure that we're getting it to the right locations. But whether you buy it on Amazon or What's Bugging You, a percentage of proceeds will go to helping send that child to camp. So I do want to note that. But to find out additional information about me, so I am on most of the social media networks, such as Twitter, Facebook, of course, my website, all under What's Bugging You, Instagram also, and then our team. We've been writing some articles out there for places such as Empowering Parents, Thrive Global. Site magazine, so we are getting to be in some more features and articles also that people can look up. So thank you for that. But we are on most, as I said, most social media, and it's again under What's Bugging You, WATTS.
Perfect. Kristen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out this evening to join us, and hope to speak with you in the very near future.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, Kristen. Same to you. Thanks for joining us. Take care.
And that was Kristen Barnett.
Pretty cool.
Pretty darn cool. Every once in a while, we run across a guest or two. They have a heartwarming story that they'd like to share with us, and we usually have them on.
You know what I like most about her story, though, is it doesn't at all sound like it's about the dollar.
No,
this sounds like she's invested in this for the children because of her caring about the children, especially obviously considering what she does for a living. It sounds like working with them, and it's all benefiting the kids who can really use it. So, extra kudos to Kristen for that.
Definitely. This is Late Night Parents with Rich and Ted. I want to give a big shout out to Brian Graves,
super producer.
We never even gave him a shout out at the start of the show. It was because I was late
just a little
tonight.
bit. That's okay, though. We're here. We're on the live. Brian covered for us. No one would ever know.
As usual. Also want to shout out some of our friends. Big shout out to 1240 AM WGBB, the home of the only live version of Late Night Parents radio show.
Home base.
Some of our friends we want to give a big shout out to. Mile High Radio. That's milehighradio.com in Denver, Colorado. Mr. Bobby Blackjack. Spoke with him yesterday. Always showing support. He showed support when it was just an itty-bitty podcast.
Thank you, Bobby.
And the detour.us. That's it's actually 2 stations.
Really?
It's one in Knoxville and one in New Orleans.
New Orleans and Knoxville.
Yes. So big shout out to the folks there from 2 community radio stations that show us love.
When are we going to New Orleans?
I don't know. I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready to get out of here.
We're due. We're overdue.
But always grateful to have our friends that support the show. Rich, I don't know about you. I saw that boxing match last night.
I didn't.
Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
Yes.
Put on a show.
Wait, this is the second time within like 6 months we've had boxing matches that turned into real matches.
Real deal matches, heavyweight. This is what everyone gets up for.
Well, yeah, because we haven't had real heavyweights worth viewing in years.
10 years?
Easily.
15 years?
Easily.
20 years?
I mean,
anything past Tyson?
The Klitschko's had their moments.
But they're not,
Right, there wasn't the draw.
U.S. born. I mean,
right.
They're like a global draw.
Yes, they are.
But last night, pay-per-view.
Yep.
Totally worth the $74.95.
That's saying a whole lot.
Totally worth it. It's a great match. It wound up being a split decision draw.
Really? I didn't hear about it.
Yes, but I got to tell you.
Do you agree with?
I do not agree.
Okay.
Wilder knocked Tyson Fury on his backside.
Yeah.
Twice in 2 separate rounds.
So that should be 2 10-8 rounds.
Right. Should be 2 10-8 rounds, but I'm saying Tyson Fury got robbed.
Wow. Okay.
It was one of those type of fights.
Okay.
Haymakers, you name it. It was all over the place. Like, you're just sitting there like, oh, my goodness.
Is this a Rocky? Is it
like it was like a street fight. And, of course, they were promoting, hey, this is like Creed 2.
Right, right.
They were swinging wild.
Really?
They was trash
They were
talking in the
connecting?
ring.
Really?
Yes. It was great.
All right.
After the match, both fighters hugged
Okay.
repeatedly.
So, see, part of me,
Mm-hmm.
the cynic in me,
Okay.
listens to all that and says, we're just setting up 2 more fights.
Oh, of course.
That's part of
Of
me
course.
says that. It's like, all right, let's have this fight here, call it a draw. Next one,
Yeah.
But it was a good fight.
It was a good fight, and I will tell you this, that at the end of the fight,
right.
both fighters were together,
Okay,
being interviewed
good.
in the ring together at the same time. That's
Wow.
how much respect they had for each other.
All right.
And they
Okay.
both called out the champ.
Okay.
They both they
Okay.
said the champ, Anthony Joshua,
Okay.
they said he's the number 3 fighter in the world.
And
Because
the 1 and 2 were standing in the
1
ring.
and 2 were in the ring.
Oh. Well, this is good for boxing.
It is really, really good. It just had, I don't know, it was for me, because I've been a WWE fan all my life.
Yes, you have.
It just reeks WWE.
And I have a problem with that.
It reeks it. Like,
I
they're
have a
sitting
problem.
there, and they're calling out the champ. The champ
Right.
is nowhere to be found.
Right.
And they're in
And
the
then
ring.
he'll come out of the back, come from behind the curtain, run towards the ring. Someone's going to have to hold him back. He'll be sitting there swinging, I want you.
I can tell you that I wouldn't be surprised if those 2 boxers went out after this fight and had dinner.
Right.
or went out and partied together. I'm serious. They put on
It was
that,
like
that
that.
good of a show.
Well, again, great for boxing. I have a hard time going for the pay-per-view
Yeah.
because I'm still feeling the Tyson era sting.
Of course.
Let
The
me
2
pay
rounds.
my $60 for 3 minutes of boxing.
Right. He comes out,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3,
Done.
boom, boom,
Out.
it's over, and you're like, that's it?
Was this an HBO affiliate? So I'll be able to see it next week.
Oh, okay.
Was it?
Oh, no, it was Showtime.
Okay, I'll be able to see that. Next
Yeah,
week
it was
too.
Showtime.
Good, no problem.
What are your thoughts when you hear, as you segue from there, Apple Music is coming to Amazon Echo devices?
We were having our music conversations. Was that last week?
Last
we were
week
talking
we
music?
were talking Spotify,
And
Apple Music.
Apple, so few subscribers.
Yes.
So this is the way. Maybe this is a way to entice a few more people to sign up for Apple Music. Because I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, you still have to be an Apple Music subscriber for it to pay through your Echo.
Correct.
So maybe they'll get a few more people.
I think everyone realizes that the Amazon Echo is the dominant speaker device.
It is perfect. I mean, at home, just before coming over here today,
Okay.
I was listening through my Echo Dot, using its aux input to go through my full-size stereo,
Right.
streaming
Yes.
Pandora.
Yes.
And it's great. You can't get better than that.
I mean, any way you think of it, you have. What do you have? You have.
But I mean, for Apple to go ahead and decide, all right, we're going to open it up.
iHeartRadio.
You got iHeart, you got Pandora, you got Spotify,
Spotify.
you have Amazon
You got
Music, of
TuneIn.
course. You got TuneIn.
All
Available.
All available through that one device.
Apple was like,
They don't even mention it anymore, but even Sirius XM was available through it. There's
I have to look into that.
is.
Does it require
a subscription.
just a subscription, or do you have to have the internet
I
version?
think you have to have the internet version.
See, that's where I fault Sirius. I'm
Yes,
like, we're already
totally.
paying for it,
Totally.
and it's you're already
Users.
doing it through the satellite. So it's not like you're running a wire or anything like that to add this connection. It's already there.
They're
and I'm already
confused.
paying. They're confused. Yes.
They're totally confused with their model,
yeah.
with their pricing model, because if you have one in your automobile,
Yep.
then that should give you the green light
For everywhere else.
for everywhere else to connect it.
It totally and completely
Rather, they want you to spend another $40 for an internet version.
Right.
And blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Which makes no sense.
Right. I mean, sure, you know why they're doing it, because they still want people to buy the Sirius hardware.
Yes.
The little portable devices.
Yes.
Well, guys, just drop that model, forget the hardware, and make the app available in whatever CarPlay version as well. Get licensed for that, so it could be built into vehicles, as it already is, right? Sirius Radio, and yeah, especially if you have if you're a subscriber, internet should be free. I should be able to sit in my office and listen. I'm paying for it.
I agree with
Come
you.
on, guys, get with the program.
I mean,
I know Sirius listens to us, so you know
they should. They really should, you know. And I remember asking them maybe 2 years ago with a straight face. I said, you should put our show on Sirius XM. On one of your vast...
One of those many channels.
A billion channels. You should take our weekly show. And strangely, Rich,
yes,
I never heard from them.
You know, I think you should reach out again. Seriously. You should reach out to them again and say, look, we are established. We've been doing this a couple of years now. We only want an hour somewhere.
You just want an hour. That's it.
One of those channels.
That's it. Just give us an hour. Wherever you want to put it. You want to put it 2 o'clock in the morning?
Right, whatever. It'll be in the rotation. Every 6 hours you get to hear it.
That's true.
So, come on, Sirius. We need to reach out to them, Ted.
Get on your job, Sirius.
We need to reach out to them.
I'm going to say the NASA InSight. Did you see that?
The InSight lander. Dude, this stuff gets me excited.
I know this is good. That is the reason why I put that topic on there.
I mean, you know, we're going way, way back. Do you remember watching Apollo takeoffs? See, I got you by a couple of years, so you may not even remember those. I do.
I remember in 1986 with Challenger.
Yes, Challenger. Oh, yeah, Challenger.
I remember that in 86.
I remember watching Apollo takeoffs.
Okay.
Saturn V's, sitting around watching Walter Cronkite.
Wow.
I'm old enough to remember that. I was a kid. But, you know, so I've seen the space race.
Okay.
From the beginning almost, you know. I wasn't paying attention for Gemini and those.
Man, who was the guy I had on? Had a guy on the show. It was on the podcast maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
And he was talking about how NASA needs to let the privatized companies, they need to source it out.
Right. Because they're not getting the funding out of the government anymore.
Had a great conversation. Had to be 2013 or maybe 2014. And he was talking about NASA and space and Elon Musk,
right,
and just talking about SpaceX and Richard Branson and
Virgin Galactic, that's a great name. But yeah, InSight. I mean, we've got another lander on Mars now. You know, I think it's a little larger than I thought it was. I think it weighs like 900 something pounds.
Wow!
When the solar cells are all open, it's like 15 feet across. You know, when you think little lander, you don't really think this big. You think rover.
So it took 6 months
to get to Mars. Hey,
6 months to get to Mars.
That's all right. Elon Musk's Tesla is out there somewhere. I just read where it just passed one of the planets recently. It's out there with Starman. But I mean, so you know, InSight is out there sampling the planet. It's doing geological surveys. It's doing more ground sampling. And all these things in preparation for future manned missions to Mars, long term.
So, the guy I thought we were going to hear from more is the whole Blue Origin.
Yep.
You know, Bezos.
Jeff. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. He's in the mix too. How about that?
He's in it too. He's like, we got to get people to Mars. I will tell you this much. I saw the pictures. I didn't see the first initial transmission of pictures.
Right.
I caught it late on Twitter, and I was like, man, this is really. You know,
technology is amazing.
It's beyond awesome. Because I'm sitting here saying, okay, so they take a few pictures. How long does it actually take to get here?
I mean, now they transmit speed of light. So it shouldn't be more than maybe 6 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Because sunlight is 11 minutes to get from the sun to the Earth.
Okay.
And if I remember my distances correctly, It should be about 6 minutes.
Okay.
I'm sure we can look that one up pretty quickly and see how close I am. But yeah, so it set a record today of most power generated by a lander from all the other ones because of those huge solar sails. It's just the beginning of what we can expect to see.
So what is the expectancy? So it's there. How long can we expect it to be sending back and forth, images? I guess is my question. Because yes, it's doing it now. Are we expected for it to do it for a while? Is it going to be for a few months, a couple of years?
I don't know. The last one's been years. I mean,
okay.
We've had the rovers on the planet. Let's say they lasted like 3 times over their expected mission life.
Okay.
So who knows? I don't know. I have to look it up what the planned life expectancy of this rover is. But we should be seeing this for time to come.
That's good. That's good. That's a good story.
And those pictures are interesting. You realize you're looking at an entire another planet.
Yes. That's unbelievable. Hey, I want to take a couple of minutes out to just rant slightly.
Uh-oh.
As much as we love the NFL, and we really love it, we really, really love it. No, seriously, because we sit here and we pay hundreds of dollars. I always talk about the overpriced beer.
Yes.
The food.
Yes.
How, there's certain things they do well, there's certain things they don't do well.
I feel a setup coming.
Well, I'm just going to say 2 names to you. Reuben Foster and Kareem Hunt. Their names popped up. Why did both of their names pop up?
Why?
Because it's also tied to domestic violence.
Again?
Well,
it's in a negative way?
It's a next set of players. There's something seriously, Rich.
So give me the background on
Well, you got Reuben Foster, who's on the 49ers. Information came out about him being abusive towards, I believe, a girlfriend. And
presently or history? Not that it makes a difference either way, but
she was present.
It was present. Okay,
right. So there's a lot of other things that you could delve pretty deep into that one.
Right.
And I don't want us to get thrown off the air.
Right.
But the girlfriend, I guess, number one, you should never put your hands on a woman.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And women, you shouldn't put your hands on a man. Let's be fair here.
Okay. And I guess I'm unsure how toxic that relationship was.
Okay.
But there was something to the point where the team told the player, we don't want the girlfriend around.
So she's coming up to the stadium, to
to
training
the stadium,
camps.
to the stadium, to the training camp.
Wow.
And it's not per se the woman's fault.
No.
But the team decided to cut him.
Because of this.
Well, because of whatever domestic violence issues that gentleman has.
Okay. All right.
I don't think he was cut for 18, 20 hours.
Right.
He got picked up by, I like to say, the Deadskins. And they decided the Dan Snyder, the owner of the Washington Redskins, decided to march. Well, he had to make an announcement about them picking up this player off of waivers.
A toxic player.
A toxic player. And they decided to shuffle Doug Williams out there to
make the announcement.
Yes. So Doug Williams was out there. And I'm like, you know what? It's wrong on every which way.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, so sure, if none of this is alleged, if we've got a situation where, the law has spoken or there has been whatever police involvement, which has validated that these
there's no jail
happen.
time, There's no jail time.
But it happened.
Things happen, and then I guess everything else, stuff gets in the way.
Right.
And
But it's beyond he said, she said issue. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
It's beyond a he said, she said issue.
Okay.
But
Then what are the Redskins thinking of by taking this person on?
Well, they're saying, oh, well, he's on our inactive roster. We're going to place him over here like in a parking lot.
Right.
In a parking space.
We're going to pay him.
And we're going to pay him $217,000 not to play. It's just certain players, when they have a skill set, if you can jump,
right,
if you can run,
right, of course,
if you can hit a ball, if you can catch, they want you.
So maybe he's thinking, all right, they got me while I'm down, but they got me. It's a check.
It's a check. So there's a lot of back and forth. And the other name I just gave you, Kareem Hunt, there was so much back and forth this season about Kareem Hunt being involved with domestic violence.
I remember hearing the name bandied about.
So the video drops.
Uh-oh.
The CCTV footage drops.
Okay. And is it blatantly obvious?
Oh, it's painful. I mean, it's cringeworthy.
So now what happened to this guy?
Oh my goodness. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, upon them viewing the video,
released. Okay. Good for Kansas City.
But it's good for Kansas City, but once again, he can run, he can jump, he can catch touchdowns.
So say the Redskins aren't picking him up too, please.
Well, no one's picking him up right now.
Okay, good.
But this situation happened in February, and there's been so much talk, and no one's seen the video up until Friday. And I'm sitting here saying, if you're the mighty NFL, that generates $11 or $12 billion in revenue.
Yeah.
I think you have the resources to reach out to law enforcement that you employ at the stadiums that you have contracts with,
right,
to get a view of a 90-second CCTV feed.
Well, did it happen at the stadium?
No, it did not happen at the stadium. It happened at a hotel.
So then it's possible that the video was being held as evidence or in evidence during whatever court case.
Okay.
And couldn't until, and again, I would need to know more about the story if there was a court case.
Right.
It's possible it was being held for that, so they couldn't release it until a certain point.
Kareem Hunt's team, or his legal team,
right,
or his buddies or his bros,
right,
said the woman had dropped the N-word. But there is no reason. Rich, you get a look at that video.
And it's like that?
Yeah, you're just sitting, you're like, well, what is going on here? Who's stopping him?
Right. And people are standing around looking and watching this.
You got one or two people that are trying to stop him,
right,
but not really giving it a wholehearted effort,
right,
approach.
Right.
Hey, okay, I'm going to put you in this room. Hey, the person that, he was all over, hey, let's see if we can get you safe somewhere else.
Get you out of here.
Right. You didn't see any of that happening. Because you know what happens with some of these sports stars. Like, they get this entourage.
Of course.
They get yes people. And everyone is just like, yeah, ho, ho, ho.
Grab her, throw some money at her.
Right.
Shut up, don't say anything.
Right.
Push him into pick your black sedan of choice. And off and running.
So
well, I'm glad the video was out. Glad the video was there because at least, whatever was being said, allegedly, can come out and be told and be acted upon.
Hey, quick stuff. Hot stove. Tomorrow, hopefully, Robinson Cano will be returning to New York along with Edwin Diaz. Some great stuff on that. We won't talk about it because you can't talk about it because it hasn't happened yet.
I got one for you.
All right.
Because this is local sports.
Yep.
And it's your hometown.
Okay.
Islanders back.
Last night.
Last night we were out at Green Turtle.
Yes.
At New York 5th Gen holiday party last night. The car club party.
Okay.
Shout out again, as always, to New York 5th Gen crew. But, of course, the game was playing while we were sitting there eating and people yelling and screaming and having a good old time.
What could have been?
It's back to being the home field.
Yeah.
The home court.
For 20 games
home
this
ice.
year. For 20 games this year, Rich. I'm not impressed.
Do you think it's the beginning of something permanent?
No. No. It's 20 games this year.
Oh, wait, Belmont.
Belmont.
Right.
Belmont.
Okay.
But we haven't seen them break ground in Belmont.
Not yet. Yeah, but the stadium is a stadium, but.
The stadium's a stadium. We're
2
looking
years?
at 3 years.
Plenty of time.
3 years. So you get 20 games this year.
Yep.
You get 40 next year.
Really?
You get 40 the following year, 2020.
Okay.
And then 2021, the new stadium should be
Belmont should be up.
I was watching. I caught a glimpse of it last night.
Right.
The tickets are through the roof because it's,
Of course. You got to
it's a
pay.
special
You got to
event.
pay more. Also, you got to pay more with less seats.
You got to pay more for less seats. You're right. So when it was 16 to 17,000,
Yep.
was one thing.
Yep.
Now you got about 12 to 13.
Looks beautiful, but still.
Oh, it's great. It's a great arena. It's really a great arena. Before we go any further, just want to say this is Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. Quickly, Rich, 5 ways to stay out of the dental chair.
Brush your teeth. No, but seriously, I mean that's one of the things. I don't know anyone who, besides you, I think, who looks forward to going to the dentist.
Go twice a year.
Seems like more often.
I know.
It's
It
got
used to
those
be
pearly white,
it used to
super
be
pearly white.
every 4 months.
See, it was more often.
You know,
at
it
one
was
point.
every 4
It was.
months.
See,
It was 3 times a year.
okay, but
And that third time, I did have to pay.
Brighton. But there was nothing to do. They were already so clean and polished and shiny. There was nothing going on. You had nothing to worry
You
about.
know, I mean, it's just really simple. You got to make great choices.
Yep.
Don't abuse over-the-counter medication.
Some of those things that eat up your enamel,
Right.
and weaken your teeth. And it might not even be an abuse thing. I mean, regular prescription medication.
True.
Your doctor could be giving it to you, and over time can have an effect. So sure, that makes good sense. I mean, there's something else which you want to say this regardless. Forget about just teeth, even though it has a huge effect on people's teeth. Stop smoking and using tobacco.
Come on.
I mean, this one is the obvious one. You can go by all the commercials you see these days, the public service, and not commercials, excuse me, the public service announcement for
PSAs.
anti-tobacco. They've been saying it for years and years, and it's not just, cigarettes. It's the smokeless tobaccos,
Yes.
which are even worse, the cheek and gum things, and sits there and rots away and eats away your gums and eats away your enamel, and next thing you know, your teeth are falling out. Just chewing tobacco. Stop. Just do any tobacco products. Don't do them.
Don't do them.
Don't. It's easy enough to say.
It's just so funny that, and I just want to segue really quick from this, is the fact that the e-cigarettes and vaping for the kids. So they start the kids so young, so young, so that they graduate
Get 'em out
into.
It's a former brand name, Joe Camel.
There you go. There you go. Rich, drink plenty of water.
That is good for everything.
Yeah, it really is.
Rinse the mouth, keep the toxins off. It's healthy for you anyway. Drink water. We all should do that. And I mean, that we should even need to say it, but yes, we're looking at a list here, folks. So stop illegal drug use.
What does that mean?
Well, you ever see those before and after pictures?
Yes.
Like you see, here's Mary Sue.
Yes.
5 years ago, before she started doing meth.
Right.
Here's Mary Sue now, looking like her great grandmother 5 years after doing meth, with half the teeth falling out, and other physical ailments. But let's face it. I mean, same thing goes with smoking, with the drugs. These affect your saliva flow, and that's what helps keep your teeth clean and keeps things flowing and keeps toxins off, and the drugs kind of eradicate that usefulness.
Hey, I want to let you know that very shortly, I think we'll do it in a podcast.
Yeah.
We'll have Jesse join us.
Nuez?
We got to talk. I'm up to season 5 of The Walking Dead.
All right, wait. Oh, man, so season 5, you're past the prison now.
I'm past the prison.
And you're Alexandria.
Not yet at Alexandria. I am at... What was that name?
Oh, Terminus?
Terminus.
So you're the beginning of the Terminus season.
Beginning of the Terminus season.
Good season.
Beginning of it.
All right, good season.
So...
see, we can't talk Walking Dead right now, then.
Well, I just saw a glimpse of something you said last week.
Which?
Cannibals?
Yes.
Yes.
Terminus.
I just saw Rick Grimes just rip into someone's face, and I was just like, okay, is this what he's talking about? I was like, I'm not really sure, but I was like, let me take a step back.
No, you'll see.
I guess this week, Into the Spider-Verse. It's either this week or next week.
I think it's next week. I think.
Interested? Not slightly, kinda, sorta.
I don't do the animated series things too much.
Okay.
So if for any of them, the Marvel universe or the DC universe. So have you done the matinee thing for Aquaman? Or the other guy.
Creed?
No. Jason Momoa character. Yeah,
Aquaman.
Yeah, I'm thinking. See, I'm still in Marvel mode.
It didn't drop yet.
Did it? Oh, okay. Are you planning to then? I thought
yes.
It was out. All right.
Yes. It looks visually.
Oh, visually, it's going to be amazing.
It seems like it's going to be really, really, really good.
And some of those critics' quotes are saying the best DC superhero movie since The Dark Knight.
Wow. That's pretty high.
That's pretty high, only because it's got to get over
praise.
Wonder Woman, which I thought was really good.
That was really good.
Everything else, that's not really high praise.
Well, Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Christian Bale.
No, Dark Knight, absolutely. That's the high point for DC as far as I think.
Yes.
So to say that it's up there, let's see if it show improves.
So when are we going to get this trailer for Avengers 4?
Still nothing.
Still nothing. When's it going to drop?
At this point, I think they're just teasing us all. Which, why not?
I mean, I'm okay either way, but it'd be nice
to have something. And we just had we just missed the 1 year anniversary of the Avengers 4 initial Infinity War trailer.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to drop it on that day.
Yep. So we're a lot of people.
Drop it on that day, and here you go. And you can rewatch it 50, 100 million times.
Take it apart, disassemble it,
totally
dissect it. But no.
I'm totally into the shows, the movie shows on YouTube. I mean, podcasts, definitely for me, Cinema Savants, but I'm totally into the YouTube shows that dissect every section.
Right. And you look in the shadow.
Every scene, look.
And the reflection in the water of the shadow
right.
looks like a bat.
Yes, it could be.
When are we supposed to get that movie? Next year, like April, May.
Yeah, I think it's going. They're probably going to release it because last time they said, "Oh, we're going to release it the first week of May," and then they pushed it up because everyone was just like, totally losing their minds.
Looking forward to that. And then, what do we do after Infinity War? Is it the big reset? Is it like let's introduce all the new characters and all the new actors on all new contracts?
What did they say? Totally right after Infinity War is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, okay.
Or Far From Home.
Okay.
Which takes place like 5 minutes after Avengers 4.
What happens in Avengers? Okay.
5 minutes later.
Okay.
5 minutes later.
So let's see what happens there.
Hey, I want to close with this, Rich.
Yep.
A school district in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Has decided it won't punish teens who gave an apparent Nazi salute in a viral prom photo. What I said to you, because they said, it's their First Amendment rights, yada, yada, yada. No one's going to be prosecuted or this. There's no, the administrator said this. I will leave with this.
Right.
What if that was a black or brown person who did something crazy like that?
Same response.
Same response?
Throw a Nazi? Absolutely. No. Well, we would give the same. That's what I mean. We would give the same response. They should be punished.
Oh, no. I'm talking about on the receiving end.
Oh.
See? That's a hot topic there. That's a hot topic there. It's like, come on. Why are you doing? I mean,
right.
You're teenagers. Okay, I understand you don't know.
Clueless, don't really know what it means anymore. What they seem to be not learning these days about
they're not.
history that was only, 80 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, excuse me. To them, it's just, okay, haha, we'll make that sign. Yeah, Nazis, Germany, Holocaust, those who even believe that it didn't happen. I mean,
stop it.
So much that's wrong about all of that.
Hey, I know we talk about millennials all the time. Why aren't millennials spending money?
Because they're broke.
Because they're broke. You don't even need to read the article. They're broke. They're living.
Broke. They're still living at home.
They're still living at home with mommy and daddy.
Because things are just too expensive, especially in major metropolitan areas.
Of course.
I know. I tell them, we've told my millennials, you guys are going to need to leave the city. No, seriously, you got to leave New York.
You do.
It's too expensive. Just coming out of school, I don't care. And you do have degrees.
Yes. You
got
to
go. Expensive. Go out, make a better life someplace else. It'll cost you a whole lot less.
But everyone wants to live in a city.
Got to pay to play.
Can you fault them?
Or have, 5 roommates. And how many times do you hear that one?
I hear that more than what I want to hear. Is, hey, we're sharing this apartment.
Right.
It's like 7 of us.
Right, exactly.
And there's one bathroom and one kitchen. And I'm like,
so what are they going to do?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Just keep on keeping on?
Yeah, I guess so. When things get so expensive, we'll all leave.
Hey, next week we'll talk about how they're revolting and reforming and the whole no Amazon and LIC.
They're revolting against it?
They're revolting against the jobs.
Jobs paying 120, what was it? It's either 120 or 140, the average salary that they're going to be paying.
They're revolting against it. They're revolting because they don't feel like the job's going to go to them.
Well, you do have to have an education, and then you do have to be qualified to get paid the money.
That's true. That's true.
So get educated, get qualified.
Hey, best ways to get in contact with you, Rich.
Twitter, Late Night Rich.
And I am the real Ted Hicks, and we are out.
Everyone, thanks for listening. Have a great week.